Welcome back, everyone, to another episode of Business Talks. I am your host, Chawanne Burns. In today's episode, we are going to talk about Amber Rose. We have some updates on Donald Trump attempt assassination. And also, Donald Trump, he actually decided his VP yesterday. So we're going to talk about a little bit about that. Okay, so you guys, thank you for tuning in. Stay tuned for another episode.
Something like this. Looks a little bit like I can't miss. Ay, this is what you call a bap. What? This is what you call a bap. Something like this. Looks a little bit like I can't miss. Ay, this is what you call a bap. What? This is what you call a bap.
You guys, thank you for tuning in once again for another episode. Please put in the chat. Let me know where you're viewing from. I have to give a shout out to Noble Young. Noble Young is in the building. MAGA. Yeah. So speaking of MAGA, we have Lexi in the building. What is good, Lexi? You guys make sure you put in the chat. Let me know where you're tuning in from. Okay. So yesterday there was the first RNC Day and National Convention, and they had several speakers there. And also, Donald Trump decided to give everyone or make his announcement on who his running mate will be. And his running mate is no other than J.D. Vance. J.D. Vance, he is a senator out of, is that Wisconsin? Anyway, he's a senator. He's a senator from somewhere, but he's a devout Christian. And I don't know if you guys remember J.D. Vance. He didn't like Donald Trump. He didn't like Donald Trump in 2016. I see Michael Turner, what is good from Arkansas, Ultra 80s from Chicago, Derek Cannon from Ohio. Yes, J.D. Vance, actually, he's from Ohio. I don't know why I was saying Wisconsin. Ohio, yeah. J.D. Vance he's a senator from Ohio. And so this is Donald Trump pick for his VP pick. That pick, they actually revealed that. Oops, let me go back to this. Yesterday during the National Convention, and they had other speakers that was at the National Convention. So I don't know how you guys feel about the pick, but I knew he wasn't. I would have preferred Vivek Ramaswamy only because I think Vivek Ramaswamy, he would have gave Donald Trump a little pushback, and I think he would have kept Donald Trump in the guardrails because Donald Trump, he gets off the chain sometimes. So I think. I believe, and maybe I'm wrong, Vivek Ramaswamy would have kept him grounded. And maybe this is true for J.D. Vance. So J.D. Vance, he is, like I said, he is a senator out of Ohio. Let me pull up this article for you guys so you can see it. Share screen. And this is literally, it was trending. So he's a senator out of Ohio. He's a devout Christian. He's a father, a husband, so, and they already agreed. They already agreed that he is willing to debate Kamala Harris. I don't know how that will go. I never heard J.D. Vance debate, but I think he probably will have a leg up on Kamala Harris because he's a Yale graduate. He came from the same, and I think they're from the same, what is it called? Yeah, they graduated the same year, him and Vivek Ramaswamy. So they both graduated law school from Yale. I don't know if J.D. Vance was on a Yale debate team, but Vivek, he's a beast in debating. So, and he comes with none but facts. But it says right here, Vice President Kamala Harris called Senator J.D. Vance from Ohio, whom former President Trump chose as his running mate, on Monday to congratulate him. And J.D. Vance might be the worst case scenario for Vice President Harris ahead of 2024 election. Because it says, however, the Biden campaign has only been willing to debate on CBS. So it says, if they decide to debate, because they both already agreed, while no vice presidential debate has been confirmed yet, in the case of Vance and Harris do face off, it may be the vice president's worst case scenario. President Biden, former President Trump agreed to 2 presidential debate, and the next one is on September the 10th. This is going to be a debacle, you guys. I don't see this is going to go good for Democrats. They have to have a miracle to happen. Something has to happen, a miracle, for them to go back up in the polls. And I don't think they were ever up. You guys put in the chat, were they ever up in the polls? Because you have Kamala Harris. Nobody likes her. She has the worst approval rating ever in the history of vice presidency. And then you have Joe Biden, and he has a very low approval rating. So I don't think that's going to go ahead. And it says, I think J.D. Vance will pose the greatest threat to Kamala in some respects. I mean, he's an incredible debater. I never heard him debate, but they're saying he's an incredible debater. And like I said, if he came anything from the same thing that, or the same school, he came from the same school as Vivek Ramaswamy, and Vivek Ramaswamy is an excellent debater, I think she is in for a world of trouble. What do you want, Chase? What's going on? I know more chicken tenders. Nope. Okay. I think he has the quality to make him palpable to the 2% that actually might vote, or that is undecided, that will actually pay attention to debate, because most people don't pay attention to debate. Okay, so that was that. So Donald Trump picked his running mate. Not going to show any clips from that particular perspective. And I see some people, they did comment. They said JD. Okay, let me just get to some of your comments. Hold on for just a second. Marcus Hibdon, or Marcus Washington. Okay, and Derek Cannon says Ramaswamy is like an auctioneer. Dat Panda, JD is a working class parent, divorced mom, had issues, raised by grandparents, war vet, good pick. Okay, that's correct. They can't debate anywhere that will threat them, fair and simple. Okay, Vance is somewhat pro-life and against transgenderism. Okay. You could come step over that so you could. Shelly Bell said, Ohio here. JD Vance sucks and used to badmouth Trump. Yeah, that's what I was getting at. He used to badmouth Trump all the time. JD is not for the working class. We barely hear anything from Kamala. Yeah, well, you're not going to hear anything from Kamala. Kamala was she was put in charge of the border, and look how that turned out. That she's not. She only shows up when there's some type of pride event or, some type of pandering event. She likes to pander to, her special audience. I like I said, know very little about JD Vance, but I know that he's been very critical of Donald Trump back in the day. And matter of fact, they put some of those quotes up when they revealed that he was the pick for Donald Trump. They put up some of his old quotes from JD Vance regarding Donald Trump and what he said. And he was saying like Donald Trump is the worst president or the worst type of person, very, very damning tweets. And I think only thing that changed his mind because he was up for re-election. And I'm assuming he was trying to gather or garner the push from Trump's people, MAGA. Okay, so that's how politics works. You make these alliances to forward your, I guess, agenda, and hopefully you guys have the same agenda. I'm assuming I'm assuming they have the same agenda, but they say on the same political side. So anyway, so JD Vance is the choice. Derek Cannon said, "I don't think they have a chance unless they cheat." Yeah, of course they gotta cheat. They have a cheat. Shelly Bell, don't worry about that. That's just Streamlabs. If you type in more than, I think, 4 rows, they probably consider it a long message. So, I don't think you're going to get kicked out or anything. That's just an auto messenger. Okay, Samuel J said, you should have seen the guy from Young Turks. His own co-host began defending Trump's work as president. He was almost in tears. LOL. Are you talking about the female? What is her name? Kuspak. I forget her last name. It's a long last name. Yeah. He really hates Donald Trump, and she's been taking a turn. I think she's more sitting in the middle now because I think the liberals have gotten too extreme for her taste. Anyway, so it's funny. Okay, so that's JD Vance. Okay, so that happened at the convention last night, and now what's happening now is they're mad now. Let me just share this. Donald Trump Jr. spoke to a reporter yesterday, MSNBC, and they was asking him about border control, blah, blah, blah. They were asking him, things regarding his dad and why he should be the next president of the United States. And Don Jr., he was running over the list of things, and of course the reporter fired back some question. And peep this is crazy. Don Jr. went beast mode on the reporter. I mean, he shut it down. Okay, this is Don Jr.
Like, Don, what practically your father as president, I think you would even say, was a divisive figure. What's it going to look like in the second term?
I don't think he was a divisive figure at all. I think the media created divisiveness around him. They lied about Russia collusion. They said he was a traitor. They went after him in every which way as possible. If the media actually starts being an honest broker, talking about the things that he did, the prosperity he brought, the peace deals that he signed around the world, rather than the disaster that we're living right now, I think you'd do everyone in the country a big favor.
I know immigration's important to him. I covered the family separation crisis closely. Will we continue to see policies like separating 5,000 children deliberately from their parents?
You mean the Obama administration?
You know they didn't do that, sir.
Okay, sure.
Will there be a second family separation policy?
It's MSDNC, so I expect nothing less from you clowns. Even today, even 48 hours later, you couldn't wait. You couldn't wait with your lies and with your nonsense. So just get out of here.
What is that change going to look like, Don? What practically your father as president, I think you would even say, was a divisive.
He called it, he said, I expect nothing less from you clowns. Because he was asking about the separation at the border. Actually, everybody doesn't know this, but Obama, he actually deported more people. Obama deported more people under his administration of any other administration. Obama did. He separated the families. But, of course, like I was saying yesterday, they have to demonize Trump. He's handling the border. He actually stopped people from coming into our border illegally from any other president. But Obama, he has separated families of any other president. And I mean, that's just statistically known, but people don't look at those type of statistics when they talk about the border crisis. They just look at, oh, you're separating them from the family. And this is untrue. So this is why Don Jr. was really upset with him.
Separating 5,000 children deliberately from their parents.
You mean the Obama administration?
You know they didn't do that, sir.
Okay, sure.
Will there be a second family separation policy?
It's MSDNC, so I expect nothing less from you clowns. Even today, even 48 hours later, you couldn't wait. You couldn't wait with your lies and with your nonsense. So just get out of here.
What is that?
He called them clowns. But anyway, so that happened. Okay, so that happened at the RNC. I don't think he said anything wrong. I think they do spread a lot of misinformation, and they, like I said, they paint or demonize one administration over the other. If you just state the facts, don't try to, because this is your favorite type of political party, just state the facts. Stop misleading people, giving misinformation. Stop reporting misinformation, because all it does is cause divisiveness. That's all it does. Okay. So, and then when they put a number on it, but if you put it on comparison to the other administration, okay, we're doing the same, or we're under or just above, but it's all the same. Anyway. So that happened. Samuel J. said Obama caused all the mess in the Middle East, which resulted in all the refugees. Yes. Okay, so that happened. Now, like I said, you have some people in the Republican Party that's mad. And I just got to have a message for stern, hard Republicans saying that no one else could join your party unless they are Mormons or holy rollers. You need to stop doing that. This is why Republicans lose, because you're so judgmental of other people, and you're blindsided what the bigger picture is. Okay, if you want your agenda to come across, or to get initiated, or to achieve your agenda, quote unquote conservative agenda, you're going to need people to vote. You can't just say, oh, I'm a Bible thumper and I don't need nobody because you ain't conform to my religion or my way of thinking. No, this is United States of America. So anyone any party is comprised of people, and the people that it's comprised of, they have to vote. And if they don't vote, then you might not be elected. That's local and that's federal elections. Okay, so Matt Walsh, no shade on Matt Walsh. He said what he said, but I think it's ridiculous. Now I'm going to let you hear Amber Rose's speech before I tell you what Matt Walsh
Family
said.
is racially diverse.
I thought she did an excellent job. Amber Rose, we know she's not there mentally. She has a career of selling her body. That's what type of career she has. Okay, but you cannot gatekeep to tell a person, oh, we don't want you here because you do this. We don't want your vote because your profession is against our religion. And like I said, Republicans or conservatives, quote unquote, if you want to call them conservatives, a majority of them are Christians or Mormons or, devout Christians, family people. But some of them are not. Some of them they don't have family. Some of them they cut from a different cloth. Everyone is not raised in the back street of Idaho or South Dakota or North Dakota, and everyone is not farming things, or they wasn't raised the way you were raised. They don't have the same religion as you. So anyway, this is her speech. She spoke at the RNC, and she's basically saying, I'm endorsing Donald Trump because of these points. And I think she did an excellent job.
And I believe the left-wing propaganda that Donald Trump was a racist. My father said, "No, he's not, Amber. What are you talking about?" And when I insisted, he said, "Prove it." So to prove my father wrong, I did my research and looked into all things Donald Trump. People have to do their research. I watched all the rallies, and I started meeting so many of you, his red hat wearing supporters. I realized Donald Trump and his supporters don't care if you're black, white, gay, or straight. It's all love. And that's when it hit me. These are my people. This is where I belong. So I let go of my fear of judgment, of being misunderstood, of getting attacked by the left, and I put the red hat on too. Thank you. Love you too. I never felt more free and more love for my country than I do now. I want to thank my father, who's in the audience tonight, for opening my eyes. He served over 20 years in the U.S. military. Thank you for your service, Dad. Where's he at? I love you, Dad. I love you. I love you so much. Thank you. When I met the president and Melania for the first time, he was kind and generous and funny as hell. Very funny. The First Lady was gracious and smart with a smile that will brighten up any room. If you're watching this tonight, you know our country is in trouble. Just like me. When you go to the store and buy food for your family, you're shocked. When you fill up your gas tank, you're pissed. I know I am. And when you turn on the news, you are just exhausted. Inflation is out of control. And you know in your heart it was not like this under Donald Trump. My message to you tonight comes from a humble place. The left told me to hate Trump, and even worse, to hate the other side, the people who support him. When you cut through the lies, you realize the truth. American families were better when Donald Trump was president. We were safer, wealthier, and stronger. A vote for Donald Trump is a vote to put money back in our pockets and good food on our kids' plates. Yes. Or, as Trump would say, it's a vote to make America great again. Thank you so much.
So I think she did an excellent job reasoning of why you or anyone else should vote for Trump and why she decided to vote for Trump. I think this message is important, even though Amber Rose is Amber Rose. We can't change that, but she's telling you specific points of why she think Donald Trump is the best man for the job. Okay, that what more can you say? And I think her message came out genuinely, and I think it was well received. Besides, for some people, some people did not like her messaging. Okay, so Amber Rose, I believe she is she believes in abortion. I know that, and she has a OnlyFans. You could say she's a ex-worker. That's what you could say about her. She doesn't necessarily sell her body, but she gets with these rappers, have kids by them, and you get some good child support from it. Or she has a OnlyFans and she shows her body off, and you gotta subscribe to her channel to get on her OnlyFans. No shade on Amber Rose. I don't think that's a good way to portray a woman. I think she seemed like she's an intelligent person. I believe that she could have been very successful in other things, but this is her career. She's been doing this for damn near 20 years. She was a video vixen. That's how she started off, and then she morphed into something else. But what I'm getting at is Matt Walsh, he did not like them giving Amber Rose a platform. He really didn't like it. He said, this is what he said: the RNC gives a primetime speaking slot to a pro-abortion feminist and self-proclaimed S-word with a face tattoo, whose only claim to fame is having X with rappers. Truly an embarrassment. Not a single voter will mobilize by this person. This is what I'm saying to Matt Walsh. I mean, this is okay. All these things are true about this lady. Okay. No one knows her besides because she had a baby by, I think, Future and some other rapper. Okay. And then she was in a few videos. She came out with a rap out. Who cares? Matt Walsh, you don't know the people she knows. You don't know the people she knows. You have 2.9 million followers on X, and Matt Walsh. Yeah, you guys are not running to the grocery store together. She has 3.6 million followers on Twitter. She has 24 million followers on Instagram. Her reach is vast. So you need numbers. You can't win elections if you're being like, oh my God. Reason why she's voting for Donald Trump, because she agrees with the economics. Not because he's anti-abortion. She agrees with the economics. So that is way more important to her. Let me just share with you Amber Rose profile on and she now she got Trump picture up like he's from NWA. But it's 24.3 million followers. Matt Walsh, what's your reach on Instagram? You 1.5 million followers. You only reaching what? 0.1% of total you well, we could say voters, 1% of the voters. We could say 100 and something or 60 million are eligible to vote. That's all you're reaching. That's all you're reaching, Matt. But her reach is far greater than you, and they're not going to intertwine. Her reach is going to be something different. And like I said, he has a right to his own personal opinion, but you need to stop gatekeeping. Stop gatekeeping. You don't speak for the entire party. And like I said, this is why not Democrats, but Republicans lose, because they start this kind of crap. Oh, you only could be this way if you want to vote Republican. No, stop that. Stop that. I don't have to agree with every single point, and I don't have to live my life the way you live it. Now, hopefully, Amber Rose, once you start getting older, you turn pretty conservative. Now she's just turned 40. So this is what normally happens when you get unless you go off the deep end like Joy Reid. But normally what happens is you turn pretty conservative once you get you start having kids, you starting wanting a family, all that. You end up being conservative. Anyway, so Matt Walsh, he actually they gave him a bunch of shit from his post. Okay, let me just go back to his post. Okay, so if you read his timeline, and everybody, I haven't seen what, even though people loved it, he had 34,000 likes or hearts. Not one person said, "Oh, I agree with you." This is the first one. Matt, this is completely the wrong tank. Amber Rose have even offered to do voter registration event with me in Philly, where she's from. Her speech was vulnerable, relatable to a lot of folks. That's another thing I want to point out. Sometimes Republicans, you're not relatable because you're stuck in your little box from your little small town and people don't understand you. You need to get somebody out that could translate this information that's relatable. And apparently Amber Rose is relatable because she has 24 million people following her. I hear you, Matt. This is Tristan Tate. I hear you, Matt. But she is also an American who is followed and speaks to many other Americans who will listen to a man like you, or even wouldn't listen to a man like you or even me because of the judgmental. That's why they're not following the judgment. We don't have to. We're not saying you don't have to be the way you are, Matt, because I guess you're the father of the Republican Party, but the judgment. This is why they need somebody like Amber Rose. Matt, I'm a former Democrat voter. I've learned a lot for the past 4 years. I do my best to advocate for understanding, empathy, and opening the conversation to those still on the left. Disenfranchising those who are attempting to learn is not the way to bring new people into our party. It's not. So stop it. So, and everybody, MGT, shamed them. You have all these people shaming him. I said to him, I don't know if it will show up, but I was basically saying, hey, Democrats have there's people, and we should have our people. Democrats have their, why can't we have ours? They have their influencers. Okay, let's say influencers, but they have their S people, and we should have our S people. Somebody says there's an older conservative mother and grandmother. I never heard of Amber Rose before today. I was impressed with her speech, and I'm certain her people were too. Let he who is without sin cast the first stone. Some people just saying you're dumb, very effing unifying of you. She came over to the Republican Party. Why? Shame on her. Not the time for useless infighting, stuff like that. Okay, so you got Amber Rose posting her chain, MAGA chain. I guess he thinks the party will be taken over by these people, by OF people, OF models, Instagram models. I don't know, but that's what I said. How closed-minded some people are, and they're just not in touch with some other things that other people go through. Like I said, I don't condone what her lifestyle, any of her choices, but come on now, she's voting for Donald Trump for these particular reasons, and I think she conveyed that message very well. Okay, so he was mad. I didn't see no other person. Oh, this one guy, CG Bryson, he said Matt Walsh is right, and he has a few hearts, but I didn't see, a lot of people saying Matt Walsh, you hit it right. They shouldn't. This is totally wrong. They shouldn't have gave her a platform. I think if you want to win, you're gonna need some numbers. Now, is Matt Walsh right? Will this translate to votes for Amber Rose and the Republican? Can Amber Rose stir up the Republican Party? I've seen some of the people in the chat said, and Lexi said, I get, what did you say about influencers? They don't influence me, and they don't influence, my decision. I give no credence to what Amber Rose said. I think it's a great thing though. But since I'm who I am, I could say the same thing Matt Walsh said. No, I don't think it's going to move anything. But that's very untrue. I think it'd be very unintelligent for us, unintelligent for us to think that Amber Rose would not bring people to the polls and vote for Donald Trump. I think it would be. Look, we have a whole race of people voting Democrat for 60 years. This is how some, and not to say Amber Rose followers are mindless, but these are some how mindless people are. They want you to do the thinking for them. So Amber Rose is the brain of the 24 million operation. You can't win elections because you're praying to God only. If this is your destiny, it's your destiny. But you can't really win elections if you just hoping and dreaming. No, you're going to have to get your influencers out. That's the world we're living in. Influence, TikTok, that kind of stuff. Anyway, because you got those young voters that's following her. Okay. And so, but Amber Rose, she received a bunch of backlash when she posted this. This is a very graphic. I can't blur this out, but She's in the bathing suit with her legs cocked open, but she had her MAGA hat on. Some people said Team Trump, but then didn't. These are her people. Wow. The one who is all about women empowerment is supporting a Mr. Assault guy, the S assault guy, 100. So, and then somebody else says, so which part of Project 2025 is your favorite? This other person said voting for Trump have a significant impacts on your black son. She talked about educational policies under Trump, criminal justice system under Trump. Yeah, this lady sounds like a nut job. Criminal justice system under Trump. We voted. Joe Biden is in the office. Worst criminal record against black folks. I mean, like, was she born yesterday? I don't know. And then you had Kamala Harris. Kamala Harris locked so many black folks up over weed. Tough sentences. Under Kamala Harris, because she was the district attorney. She locked a lot of black people up that shouldn't have been locked up. So she ran down Healthcare Affordable Act. They still had the Healthcare Affordable Act. Administration stance on relating to affirmative action. Yeah, you need a voter ID. You need ID. What are you talking about affirmative action? For votes? No, because you said, because Republicans are saying, no, we should make ID. You have to prove that you're a citizen of the United States. One of those things being having a state ID. Hello, in a birth certificate. What is wrong with that? I don't see nothing wrong with that. This is, this person, not to get on this person. I'm not going to even say her name because I don't even know who she is. If she was famous, I would say her name. But this person, she's regurgitating what the mainstream media is saying. And someone says, sold her soul for a MAGA cult. What you do when you're no longer relevant in society. So she's getting it. Some people saying, I'm unfollowing you. Good luck with all that. Thank you for posting. It reminded me to unfollow you. Conservative women are the hottest. She going to be one of the first ones they recruit to be a handsmaid. This is why black folks are so unintelligent. Like, they gonna put you back in chains, girl. You're gonna be a slave. Stop it with the madness. It says, little does she know that Trump hates her just because she's a woman, but especially because of her melanin. So sad, the idiocracy of America. This is a white lady saying this. Somebody said, did Donald Trump grab your pee? Anyway, so that's that. Okay, so not Melania, but Amber Rose, she endorsed Donald Trump. You have some conservatives like, oh my God, she's an OF girl. I don't have my pearls on today, but clutch my pearls. Then you have Amber Rose. Her whole people unfollowed her. This post got 121,000 likes. This post got 121,000 likes. Don't know how many commented, but if she had more followers, it didn't do. She still has 24 million followers. Okay, so if you want to win an election, you have to pull other people from the other side. You can't gatekeep. Oh, you this way. We don't want you here. No. If you believe in some of the agenda, you might want to vote for Donald Trump. You don't have to believe in all of it, just some of it. Some things that Donald Trump is putting on his agenda is very important to you. Nobody said you had to marry Donald Trump to vote for Donald Trump. Nobody Nobody said that. Okay, so that's that. Another thing I just want to address before I go off to my other subject. Me and my sister had a good talk. We don't have the same political ideology either. Me and my sister, we knock heads. Matter of fact, we were talking about um the other day, you know, they're saying in not the media but online, they're saying it was staged, blah blah blah. So she asked me, she was like, do you think it was staged? I was like, that would have been the worst stage possible. Is it set up? Yeah, I think it was a setup. I think it was like an inside job. And I'm talking about Trump assassination. Yeah, I think it was an inside job. Because how in the world does a man is able to access the building, this 20-year-old person, able to access the building, scale it, and stay on the rooftop? Everybody's saying, hey, there's a guy. There's a guy on the rooftop. There's a guy on the rooftop. You want to get this guy.
Live in 5.
Stop this guy from going on the rooftop. And then he's there setting it up. Everybody's like, hey, this guy is on the rooftop. And he was able to fire off 8 shots. Okay, so we talked about that. And then we also talked about, hey, there.
So we walked up, and probably 5 to 7 minutes of Trump speaking.
People injured during this. People died during this. Why would Donald Trump stage this? He comes from Hollywood. Well, because we know he was in real estate, but no, he made his career in Hollywood as well. He knows about, hey, we could use fake guns and all this stuff. But you decided to use real bullets? What kind of craziness are people thinking? Why would a president do that? Now, not to say he might do that, but come on now. Why would he take that risk to get a photo op? That is insane to me. But this is what, some people, and I'm saying some liberal people are saying that this thing was staged, and they're still believing it was staged. Oh, he could have killed these people. Maybe they took it way too far. No, this we're talking about Donald Trump. He came from Hollywood. He's not a politician. Let's put on our thinking caps and really think about that logically. And Amanda Seals said, oh, he could have used a scat pack, I guess the blood to make it look fake. This is Hollywood thing. He could have got a fake gun and start shooting and made the sounds and all that good stuff. But no, this wasn't a fake. This wasn't fake. And it really upsets me when I hear that. And because I see a lot of Black folks saying it was fake. Now, was it a setup? I believe so. I think it's, like I said, how would someone gain access? You're the Secret Service. You're supposed to be super cops. How would you gain access to the roof? Now, so speaking of gaining access, they were saying that let me just forward. Daily Mail. They were saying that the lady that's over the CIA, I mean not the CIA, but the Secret Service, that she gave a really bad explanation of why that person was able to access the roof. They said it was real absurd. Secret Service director gives bizarre reasons why an agent wasn't on the roof where gunmen opened fire on Trump as she rejects calls to resign. She's rejecting Secret Service head Kimberly Cheadle. It says Cheeto, who was facing calls to resign over the massive security failure, said Secret Service officials planning security for Trump rally in Butler, Pennsylvania, considered the warehouse 147 yards away from Trump spoke to be risky position for stationing an agent. What? Risky? 147 yards away. That's risky. What's that? 300, 450 feet, almost 500 feet away is risky. I'm not for sure. Why would you say that? It says chilling new details have revealed that a team of local police snipers were inside the building when the 20-year-old opened fire, shot Trump in the ear and killed a member of the rally crowd. It says he managed to evade cops and Secret Service 3 times, even though he had been deemed suspicious and could have been on the rooftop up to 30 minutes before pulling the trigger. Yeah, he was on the rooftop for a while. A witness also begged law enforcement to act when they saw his clamber onto the roof with an AR style rifle, but lapse in security meant he was able to carry out his bid for the 45th president's life. The mistakes that led to Trump being inches away from being killed sparked calls for Cheeto to step down, but she has refused to. She's refusing to step down because she a nut job. That building in particular, now listen to this. This is wild. This is why maybe women shouldn't be in law enforcement, because she sounds stupid. She sounds stupid. That building in particular had a slope roof at its highest point. And so, there's a safety factor that would be considered there, that we wouldn't put somebody on a slope roof. This is what she said to ABC News. And so, the decision was made to secure the building from the inside. If you want to scale the building, you scale it on the outside, right? You want to be like, oh, let me in, let me climb up through the roof. No, it's a nice hot day. Why would I be on the inside of the building? It's not a tall building. This is the building. The slope, is it at a 45-degree angle? No, this is not a peak of a house or anything like that. You know how they have so the elevation could look more dramatic on a rooftop. It's usually on houses. This is not that building. This slope has probably got an 18-degree slope. Maybe 20 at the most. And so she said it was a risk factor, but it wasn't too risky because your boy, the guy that was trying to take Trump out, was on there. He scaled it. So why couldn't your officer scale or get up there? She sounds ridiculous. She sounds really ridiculous. And it says, and so, the decision was made to secure the building from the inside. What transpired instead was a security nightmare. The guy was able to scale the building and secure his own position while law enforcement struggled to locate him amid pressing warnings from the members of the Trump crowd, but there wasn't sufficient time to act on the tips, she explained. That guy was there for a minute. He was there for a minute. The shooter was actually identified as a potential person of suspicion. Unfortunately, with the rapid succession of how things unfolded, by the time that the individual was eventually located, they were on the rooftop and were able to fire off at the former president. No, and then whoever, I didn't get the interview. I'm trying to see if they actually got the interview linked in here. They should have pushed back. Oh, no, not just one shot. He was able to fire 8 shots. This is ridiculous. You were able to fire, he was able to fire 8 shots. It says she was referencing claims by witnesses that they alerted law enforcement about the threat, but agents weren't able to eliminate the threat in time. Officials have pointed to the initial responding officers who lifted himself up on the roof only to lower himself back when his own life was threatened. Okay, I'm going to get on this point. You get on this point. We have 2 points that we need to get this guy. But I think you're making very, very bad excuses of why you let this guy fire 8 shots into a crowded area where the president is sitting, because he wanted to take his life. And then, of course, he was a bad shot, so he ended up taking other people with him. So you listen to this. So she also said the Secret Service was aware of the security vulnerabilities presented by the building. Why didn't you have people posted outside of the building? It sounded like, oh, we was aware of that. We knew that. But, we put the people on the inside. Well, the people are on the outside. Why would you put people on the inside? Okay, there's access to the rooftop on the inside. But like I said, this building, look how low this building is. All you need to scale this building is the drain pipe, the water drain, and you could scale it. And that's what the guy did. He scaled the building. That's how he was able to access the roof. It says experts have said primarily responsible of law enforcement would to be secure the elevated areas near the high level protectee. She also continues to resist the calls to step down over the incident, even while taking responsibility for her agency. Biden's the only one she's in an appointed position. So Biden will be the one who's over her. Biden, right? She's the head of Secret Service. So Biden will be over her. Biden needs to tell her, no, we need to get rid of you. You made me look bad. If he's even aware of looking. Like, we don't know if Biden's aware of anything right now. But he needs to step up. The buck stops with me, she said. Well, then you need to step down at the buck stop. I'm going to step down because I feel I am personally responsible for this debacle. Step down, woman. And she's refusing to.
We sat down with director Kim Cheadle today for an exclusive interview.
What was your reaction when you saw the events unfold on Saturday?
Shock, and then concern, obviously. for the former president. This is an event that should have never happened.
Who is most responsible for this happening?
What I would say is that the Secret Service is responsible for the protection of the former president.
So the buck stops with you?
The buck stops with me. I am the director of the Secret Service. It was unacceptable, and it's something that shouldn't happen again.
The President and Homeland Security Secretary said today they had 100% confidence in you, but there are some members of Congress calling on you to resign.
I appreciate the Secretary's comments, and we're going to continue to be transparent and communicate with people.
You plan to stay on, absolutely.
I do plan to stay on.
Okay, so yeah, if the buck stops with you, then you just need to resign. So you just stop it. So stop it with the madness. Just resign. Save you know your face. It says 5 unanswered questions about Trump's assassination attempt. 1, who was the woman appearing to yell would-be assassin's name? Didn't know that. Why does the 20-year-old have 0 social media accounts? Some 20-year-olds don't have social media. I mean, that's not a red flag to me. Why did the Secret Service rip off Trump's shoes? Maybe he couldn't run in them. Why did the Secret Service allow the guy to evade them 3 times before he fired? That's a good question. Direction of the gunfire. This is the shooter position. One of the guys that was hit while he was trying to fire at Trump. A woman who was behind Trump. Yeah, this is weird. I saw a video when it all happened. You know, it seemed like she knew it was going to happen, so she put it on the video. Like, who is this woman? Who was the woman behind Trump acting alone? I thought it was very weird. They need to find this woman and question her, because everybody ducking down. She's getting her phone out like, oh, I'm not going to duck down. This is a good time to take a video. To me, it's weird.
This video shows the same buildings. It was filmed at 10 minutes past 6. We know this because we can hear Trump's speech in the background. The smaller building on the right is the one the gunman was on.
Look at that. Oh, man.
In this video, we see a man.
You could scale. This is the HVAC system.
They both look at the building.
If you're strong enough, you could scale that.
That while Trump was speaking,
a 20-year-old won't have a problem.
We noticed the guy crawling.
If you fit, you
can
scale that.
Bear crawling up the roof of the building beside us. We're pointing at the guy crawling up the roof.
And he had a gun, right?
He had a rifle.
A rifle.
We could clearly see him with a rifle. And the police were like, huh, what? You know, like they didn't know what was going on.
Look, we have a tragedy. We're going to do, and what happened in Las Vegas is in many ways a miracle. The police department.
Okay, so this is other stuff. Let me just, that they're talking about. And so everybody's saying it's they totally screwed up. And of course, there is going to be an investigation with the oversight committee to see how this happened. And they're going to call for her resignation. I don't think I think, like I said, I think Joe Biden should fire her. He definitely should fire her. Okay. Let me make sure I'm not missing anything. And, you know, of course, everyone is saying, oh, that's a DEI hire. I think it is. I think it is because, you know, this is what Joe Biden ran on. He ran on he's going to have a diverse cabinet. Besides, you know, his upper administration is pretty much Jewish. A lot of people don't talk about that. He has a lot of Jewish in his administration. His aides, other officials, ambassadors, or whatever. They're all Jewish. You know, I think it's like 40% of his people that he's appointed or put into their position are Jewish people. So it's not that diverse, but it's diverse. Okay. We're talking about lesbians, gays, women, white women, black women, black lesbians, white transgenders, even though that guy got the cross-dresser, I think, was he fired or let go because he was a kleptomaniac? But anyway, so he ran on that. So we know this is a DEI hire. She probably took the job from a well-qualified man. Just call it what it is. We know she took that job because this was a total debacle. And they probably don't respect her either. They probably got low morale. Anyway, turning point. Confronted Kristen Welker. Okay. Kristen Welker was walking from NBC News and asked her what her response was to NBC reporting that the attempted assassination against President Donald Trump was just popping noises.
That when Trump was assassinated, excuse me, Kristen, I have a question. NBC reported that when Trump was assassinated, attempted assassination, it was popping noises that was initially reported. Would you like to respond to that? No? Yep. All right, y'all, this is Savannah Hernandez, and this is actually Kristen Welker right behind me of NBC News, the exact same network that reported after the attempted assassination of Donald Trump that it was just popping noises. Kristen, would you like to say anything? No? Would anybody a part of NBC like to say anything about your faulty reporting? Not at all? Okay. So that's your mainstream media, ladies and gentlemen. And we have CNN here, we have MSNBC, we have NBC. So this week, I'm really going to try to ask all of these media members what their response is to their networks and this faulty reporting.
And like I said, you know, that popping noise sound, and Amanda Seals, she said that these are people that they haven't lived in the hood, maybe, or they never really heard a sound of a gun. They never went to the gun range. So that's why they're saying the things that they're saying, because they don't know how a gun sound out in air. In open air. They don't know. So that's why they're saying that. Now, the last thing that I want to share with you, remember yesterday I reported a Jack Black. I thought it was Jack Black, but it was somebody on stage with Jack Black saying, oh, don't miss the shooter next time. And if you want to, let's go back to that video so you could refresh your memory what I'm talking about. So this is, he was on some tour. Jack Black was on stage, and one of the guys that's on tour with him was saying this to during his birthday wish.
Happy birthday, make a wish, Canada. Don't miss Trump next time. Thank you.
So he said, don't miss Trump next time. And you know what? They did add a community note saying Jack Black is singing happy birthday to bandmate Kyle Gass. Gass is the one saying, don't miss Trump next time. Okay, so that's the community note. And so then today, Jack Black decided to separate his himself from gas. Okay, he said, I was blindsided. I was blindsided by what was said at the show on Sunday. I would never condone hate speech or encourage political violence in any form. Remember, they have the same writers, you guys. Not Donald Trump, but Joe Biden said this political, quote unquote, political violence. And your girl Kamala Harris, I don't condone hate or hate speech or political violence. I don't condone political violence. They're regurgitating the same damn information. Jack Black, be original. You could have wrote your own. Hey, I'm separating from the party. I don't agree with anything he's saying. I don't believe it. Okay. Use some other word besides condone and political violence. Go to the thesaurus and use some other words. Stop using the same words. It sounds ridiculous. After much reflection, I no longer feel it is appropriate to continue the tenacious detour, and all future creative plans are on hold. I am grateful for the fans and their support and understanding. So Jack Black, he had to step away from what his friend said. Maybe his people gonna get mad at him about that. Don't know. Okay. I'm just reading some of your comments to see. Lexi said Biden will fire her when he gets the go ahead from Obama. You're fired. Obama, no, he gonna say, instead of saying you're fired, Obama said I gotta fire you. He gonna put the blame on Obama. Obama said I gotta fire you. Hilarious. Okay. Cheeto is more focused on diversity than safety. So many morons like her running things. Yes. Is it like, okay, safety. You signed up for an unsafe job and you're trying to be safe. like that doesn't even make any sense. You better scale that damn building and post up, like, and make sure nobody go up there. And then a lady yesterday, let me just go back to this video. Let's see if they show it. The lady behind Donald Trump.
Probably 20 million people. And you know, that's a little bit. He's going down! If you want to really see something that said, take a look at what happened. Take a look at what happened. Wait.
This one of the ladies, it actually is the lady behind. Is there a lady behind him? It might have been her, but I thought it was the lady with the curly hair. I thought it was this lady. She was on stage with him. The lady that couldn't holster her gun, she was on the stage with him, and she was high. She was high when they were shooting. She didn't protect the president. She totally hid. She hid from the gun violence. She was like, "Oh, I'm not ready to die today." She didn't do her job. She was like, Donald Trump, you better get down here with me. But I'm not about to. I'm not about to shield your body. So, and that's crazy that the Secret Service woman, she thinks that it's her fault, but not her fault. I'm not for sure. You want to take responsibility, but you don't want to take responsibility. Sounds ridiculous. And like I said, I will resign. If I was in her position, I will resign, because you can't say you fired me. You know, you can't say, even though everybody's going to know that, hey, they made you resign, but it's not a fire on your record. All personal opinion. You guys tell me what you think. Okay. So that was it for our live stream today. I really appreciate every single last one of you guys. Thank you for tuning in. I'm sending all my good to you, and I will talk to you soon.